follow-up to last week's training, whereas last week we talked about planning a web strategy. This week we're going to do a little execution of that strategy, putting it to work in a real setting. We're going to do a little bit of review, and then we're going to talk about what we've done here on our end to prepare for a web strategy or a web presence, if you will. So as kind of a reminder, we're going to put the chats up. If you've got questions, we've got that being monitored. Otherwise, you can unmute yourself at the end of the presentation, and we will certainly address your questions there. I think this is going to stir some thoughts. I think it's going to stir some action on your part and give you some very good ideas of how you can increase your web presence and create leads based upon your website. So let's get into this. And we're going to do some review of what we did last week, talk about the steps here I've listed out, type of site, hosting, the CMS, SEO, and landing pages. These are part of the first steps of the plan. We're going to talk about how we've done this week and executed on this plan. First off, what is your goal? And in the case of what I'm talking about, or what I did this week, I had a two-part goal. One was to create an informational site, that is one that you could go to and get good, solid information about the subject, in this case, restaurant point of sale. And then it's going to be a lead generation site. So that's my goal for this particular website. With regard to hosting, I gave you 4 different places to go in addition to your own local hosting sites. I chose GoDaddy. I have a personal account there, and I chose to use GoDaddy to purchase the URL and to host the site. We talked about site development tools, in this case, the CMS software. I did choose one. It helps me step through the process. I did use some add-on modules to that. I'll talk about and show those. And it does allow me to click, drag, put things where I want them to be. CMS tools also have SEO stuff included. And one of the things I did add, one of the modules I did add, is a SEO grading tool. It actually gives me a red light when I've got bad SEO, a yellow light when I've got okay, and a green light when it's set up properly. It also has the ability to have multiple templates. I'll show you the ones that I looked at, and then I'll show you the one that I selected. If I need help, there are online help groups, and there's always Fiverr.com. The website CMS that I chose is very popular, and there are a lot of developers out there who can pick up where I left off, and if I don't have the time, I could pay them to do that. There's a lot of them on Fiverr that are looking for those gigs and would be glad to assist. These are the site development or CMS tools that I showed you were available. The one I used for this website will be WordPress. I'm comfortable with that. I've used it before, and it fits what we're trying to do. So keywords. I mentioned that you need to know what you want to be known for. What phrases do you want people to look for to find you? What do you want to be known for in your area? Three or more words is preferable. The more words that you have for keywords, the more people are going to find you. Think about those as kind of a fish hook that you're throwing out to catch those fish. So the more keywords you have, the better. And you need to select a phrase that really is being searched for by consumers. So what I did when I was looking at restaurant POS, as far as what kind of results people were getting, I kept coming back to over and over again. I kept seeing best restaurant POS popping up as a common search term in some way. So it would be the best POS for restaurants, or the best restaurant POS near me. Those type things were kept coming up. So Best restaurant POS looked like it was going to be a good phrase to use. Well, I looked up bestrestaurantpos.com. It was available for $2,195. Yeah, I could have spent $2,200 and bought that from somebody who had already secured bestrestaurantpos.com. I didn't go that route. I'm not going to spend that kind of money on a website. I looked and found bestrestaurantpos.biz. It was also available along with .net, .site, just a whole bunch of different extensions. I chose bestrestaurantpos.biz and paid $10 for the first year and $20 for each year after that. So that site now, that domain name I own. That's mine. So now my page URL actually has my keywords because it's bestrestaurantpos.biz. So I'm assured of having that on my, each one of my pages is going to have my keywords. When I get into the sub pages, that's where I'm going to stick the word Aldelo. So I'm following the same rules that are applied to you as a referral partner. You can't have Aldelo in the URL or in the domain name, but you can have it in the URL if it's behind the slash. And you're going to see where I'm going to start putting that into my sub pages. So for Aldelo, for the SEO, the URL, page title, page description, keyword should be unique to that page. You're going to see how I'm doing that. And every page has to be different, and it will be because my module that I added makes sure of that. Each page should be focused on a specific keyword, and you'll see how I'm doing that on the site. And I'm going to have landing pages. All these I'll have it eventually on that site. They're not there yet, but I'll have them on there eventually. So all my steps to be prepared this week for putting in this website. Type of the site is going to be lead generation. I'm going to host it at GoDaddy. I'm going to use WordPress and plugins for WordPress for my CMS. SEO is going to be Best Restaurant POS is going to be on each page. And then the sub pages will also have the word Aldelo and what that landing page is going to be about. Because there's going to be several different landing pages that I will do once I'm complete with the home page. So in executing this strategy, I'm only going to use resources that are available to you as a referral partner. I'm going to be pretending like I'm one of you guys. I'm only going to use resources available to you, and I'm not going to be spending a whole lot of money to get it done. I'm not going to be using the Aldelo drafting, graphics department, content writer, none of that. I'm going to do all this as if I were you. I'm going to continue to do my day job. I'm only doing this sporadically during the week. I'm not putting a whole day into this. I'm not putting a whole lot of time at one time into this, but I will take a few moments here and there. The way the CMS works is I can do a section, or I can do a section of a section and get that done and then move on and do something else. So you don't have to spend a lot of time all at once to do this. You can do it in small pieces. And what I thought we would do, we would track the progress of the site on our Friday calls to see, what have I done that week? How's the ranking? How many visitors do we get? Did I get any leads? So let's just let this site naturally grow and progress over time, and we'll see how it works in the reality of the real world. So I did last Monday on our team call, I showed the team how easy it is to go to GoDaddy and buy a URL. And I did that on our team call. Took maybe 5-10 minutes at the most to even figure out what keyword I wanted to use and find the site, make the purchase, And once I did, I got this. It's asking me, what do you want to do next? Well, I chose the center one, which was build a new site or store. And I clicked that. And when I did, I was taken to this. What kind of category are you going to be? This then sections you off into different types of sites. I'm going to put this, I put it as an IT services account. Then I gave it a name for my account. Then I went to the installation applications so that I can go and select different types of programs that download onto my site. The one I looked at here for content management, these are all the different content management options that I had. I chose the first one on the top left, WordPress, but there's others. Joomla is there, Drupal is there. Those are real popular as well, but you could have chosen any of these others. The section down below that, those were e-commerce and business sites. So if you had that type of site you wanted to use, then some of those would work out really well for you. But I chose WordPress. And once I did, it then brought this up. And then there was an install this application button. I did that, and about 5 minutes later, my site was up. And it gave me that homepage. It was not hard. I'm start to finish is not even 30 minutes to actually get the site to this point where you're ready to start putting your theme in, start building pages. Start to finish really under 30 minutes. So let's do this. Let's show results that could be obtained by a referral partner. Let's make this as close to real for you guys as we can. We'll talk about in the upcoming weeks what we've done and what we've been able to do. So what has this cost me so far? $37.47 at GoDaddy got me 2 years of a domain hosting for this account. And then I went out and got a custom theme for the website. It cost me $67 a year for the theme and unlimited support for that theme on this website. And then so far, about 10 hours. And that's it. So I'm into it for $104 so far. Don't know if I'm going to spend any more money on it, but that's it. I know some of you guys have spent hundreds and hundreds on your site and are really disappointed in what your results were. Well, let's take a look at what our results have been so far. This is the website. So this is our site. It's called Best Restaurant POS. That's the title of it. These are some of the pages that I've got kind of holding on right now, just in placeholders. I put in my own custom image in the back. I can have this image on each sub page as well, or I can have different images there. What I've done is I have two main buttons here, and I just chose to say all modules included. So they could click here and find out what modules in the software are included, list them on out, and all services included. 4 sections here. And as you may know, for websites, verbiage is important for the web crawlers, but visitors generally scan the site rather than read the site. So they're going to scan it really quick and see that all modules are included, 24/7 live telephone support's included, software upgrades are included, and online ordering is included. I wanted the top 4 sections there to be high sought after. I want them to be sought after keywords, and that's what this works out to be. Next section, I wanted it to be about Mesa. So I have 3 overlapping images. I have some verbiage here that is readable, and then to learn more. I want them to get interested and then click on learn more to go to a deeper dive into the Mesa platform. And yes, all these images came from the Aldelo POS site. So Aldelo.com has all these images. We've mentioned to you that you're able to copy those images. I did a save as. I changed every image name so they're not a straight duplicate. I then gave it their own alt text and description so that they are now seen as different images than what were on the Aldelo POS site. Here's the integrated payments section, handheld devices. And here are going to be where I'm going to put 3 of the landing pages linked to this section here. So I've got delivery, pizza, and food truck. Some verbiage about them, and then they'll learn more that will take them to the actual landing page for that topic or for that keyword. Finally, on this page is a contact us. It says, instead of saying contact us or get a demo, I didn't want to do the get a demo because people will then think, well, gosh, if I'm going to get a demo, then I'm going to have to buy something. And I don't want them to have that hesitation at this point. I want them to have to feel free. Let's just have a conversation. Let's just talk. So that's why I put have questions, let's talk. Complete the form below. You'll be contacted within 1 business day. Need to talk sooner? Give us a call. That's the home page. With this section here, having 3 different hot topic landing page type topics, I can have then another 3 right below here. I can add in another section that has 3 more and continue that theory or that theme all the way down the page, because this page can continue to run on and on as long as I've got content to go in. If you'll also note that at the top, one of the reasons I chose this theme is that as I scroll, this stays up here. So I don't have to, if I don't want to have to scroll back up to the top of the page. I can just hit home and it go right straight back. All right, let's take a look at the back end of this. This is the dashboard for the site. It shows these different blocks here are all movable. You have the ability to move them and put them in whatever order you wish. There are some additional modules that I've installed. Jetpack is for a lot of the site statistics. Shows you what's who's been visited, who's visited you, how many visits you had. Site, it has to do with site security and a few other important factors. You're going to want to install Jetpack as one of the add-on modules. Here are all the pages that we have in the site so far. The rest of them are in draft mode. I have not published them yet because I'm not done with them. So as you're building the site, you will have different pages that you're going to be working on. Well, keep them as a draft until you're done. And once you're done, then you can post it. Then you can publish it. If you look here, this is the home page. Come all the way over. And you'll see these 2 green lights here. Those tell me that my search engine optimization is perfect for this page. And this next one is the readability. That is, how does it read? How does it sound to your visitor? Is it easy to read? Does it have the right words? Does it have the right flow? Well, that green light tells me that my page is ready is readable. It is ready to be published. As you're building your site, you can then put this in pages in the order that you wish to have them up on your home page, or actually not be in the site tree at all. They can just be landing pages on the site that are only accessible through a search engine. All these I have listed as a subset of the main page. That's why they've got the little dash in front of them. They are children of the parent page. When you get into the appearance of the site, you have different themes that you can use. This is the theme that I'm using currently on this site. The theme is going to show the layout. Don't look at the pictures. The pictures are not the layout. The pictures are there to attract your attention, but you have the different layouts that you're going to want to look at to see how they flow, to see if they work for you, see if they're catching your eye. And if they don't look good to you, they won't look good to your visitors. So just pick the one, multiples of whichever ones you want, and give it a try. You may or may not like it. I chose this one because it had that title bar stayed the same. I did not want a listing of pages down the side. I didn't want a menu down the side. That was my preference. That one worked out for me. This is what cost me $67. There are some that are free, but you have to do a little research and figure out which ones look good and if you want to use them. I talked about plugins, and these are the plugins that I have in the site. The Yoast SEO is the one that I have used and are using on this site that will then grade your search engine optimization. You will tell it certain things about your site. You'll tell it what your tools are. If you do not know what they're talking about, they do have some of the best training tools online that you can go to. It will also track your social appearances, social networks, putting in your Facebook page, your Twitter account, and I put in our YouTube account. So this is something that you guys can do. This is a site that, as you see, we've got a good start. We've got good appearances. I will have to have all these learn more. We'll have to have some kind of page that they are attached to. That means I have right now a total of 12 pages that I've got to create in order for these not to be dead links. All right, that is what I wanted to show you guys today. And Felipe, I see that you've done it with Wix. That's great. At that point becomes a personal preference as to how you get it done. It's not so much that the how. I don't care about the how as much as I do care about getting it done and having a multiple page website that is devoted to the Aldelo Express product. Once I'm done, I know right now I have to have 12 more pages because that's how many links I have on the home page. But when I get here and it says all modules included, well, I'm going to have a listing then of all the different modules that are included. That'll be on that next page. Well, that then will have multiple links, a link for each one of the modules explaining what that module is. So if I do 10 modules, then I'm going to have an additional 10 pages. So it gets a little bit bigger than just the home page and 12 links. It's going to be a little bit bigger than that. This is this could be a 50-page website, easy. But it's not going to be done this week. It's going to be done over the next several weeks, if not 2 or 3 months, before it's right, before I'm done with it to that point. I'm also going to link and create a blog on this site for quick blog posts and articles that will then be searchable by the search engines. Blogs are a really good way to expand the content of your page with very little effort. Well, let's learn and grow together, guys. Let's watch this site over the next few weeks, how it matures, how I add to it, and how it ranks. It doesn't rank yet. We've had, I think, 1 search engine crawl us so far, but I haven't yet submitted the sitemap to Google. So that will be a big step. Once I have a few pages, then I can actually submit the sitemap to Google, and then they will then start crawling this on a more regular basis. Just want it done first. I want it to have a little more complete, at least have the top 12 pages done, or 13 home page and the 12 here, because you don't want to have a dead link when your search engines are starting to find you. So I'll have at least that done, then I'll submit the sitemap and we'll start getting some reasonable traffic. But you're going to find that this lead generation site is going to have this contact form on every page, giving them the opportunity to submit their name, email, subject, and message if they wish.